right, we're back, Mary Beth.
And I think we're gonna first we're gonna do our check-in and all that stuff. But yeah, and then we got something a little bit different for you.
So it's Friday morning writing group on the Writer's Adventure. You've carved out this time, whatever day it is. Maybe you're listening to this on Sunday. I don't know. But you've carved out this time to write, to be with yourself and show up to the page. And so we've got a few tips for you and some writing prompts for you. And let's check in, which is a time to just ground yourself and welcome yourself back to the page.
Yeah. So should we start with a few deep breaths and
Yeah.
feet on the ground and sit tall or sit comfortably or maybe even stand up if that's how you feel. Stretch my arms. Today my breath feels like
Today I woke up with a head full of
today I feel a warmth coming from
in this moment. I'm present with
today my breath
nice. So whether you ever write those or simply fill in the sentences in your head, it's a way of showing up to the moment, because you can't write there from there. You can only write there from here. So where are you? Okay, so we're gonna play around with things Mary Beth and I've been talking about. Let's pull out a book and a writer that we like every now and again when we're on this writer's adventure.
and see what inspiration flows from there.
Yep. And I said to Mary Beth, hey, how about Neruda? How about Neruda? And she's like, every time you read Neruda, I want to know more.
And it's just so beautiful and it's visceral and it's like, I think I just mentioned the word warmth. There's a warmth to it. Anyways, it's really, he's not Pablo Neruda for nothing.
Right. Pablo Neruda lived from 1904 to 1973. One of the most renowned poets of the 20th century, was born in Farral, I'm not sure, Farral, Chile. He shared the World Peace Prize with Paul Robeson and Pablo Picasso in 1950, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1971. In this book, so here's the thing about poetry. Nobody just gives you a book of poetry and slides it across the table, right? Books of poetry are given to you or purchased because there's something deeply connected to you in it, or someone wants you to know how much you awaken something in them or something. Like poetry is a different deal. So this Neruda, I'll just read to you what's inside. To Tina, your favorite poet's favorite poet. Learn from him, laugh with him, cry with him. His poetry teaches what it truly means to be a poet, and by extension, to be fully human. You deserve so much, Tina. I love you. And so life finds us, the earth opening at our feet and demanding roots. Your friend, Rodney.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
So I love Neruda because my friend Rodney loves Neruda, and I love Rodney and he loves me, and I trust him implicitly. It's like, I know he chose this book because he was witnessing myself as a poet, like me as a poet kind of arrive, and he wanted to encourage that. Neruda is a romantic. He's sexy. Lots of sexual overtones in his writing. He's almost, if you can be wistfully violent, which is kind of weird, but like he's got edge, he's got teeth, He's dangerous, and yet he's also a incredible romantic. So when I've read Neruda to you, what grabs you, Mary Beth?
I get a visual in my head of a place that I've never been, which is like, how is that even possible?
Wow. Yeah,
And
he's
it's like I can see the colors there. Like there's a real tonal kind of quality to it, and then there's so much emotion, but it's not emotion like, "Oh my god, someone's ripping my heart out." It's more like it's more subtle,
Mm,
right? It's like, maybe the difference between the kind of emotion that you have when you're 15 years old and you're writing
mhm.
poetry and the kind of emotion that you have when you're 50,
Wow.
right? And it's like the truth is one is not stronger or lesser than the other.
Yeah.
They're equally potent, but just the way that they are delivered and the sort of yeah, yeah, it's just different.
Wow, I love that. So let's just read a little bit from it. Okay, this is a piece called First Travelings. I've read it a few times, I think, somewhere. And it's from Isla Negra, is the book of poetry. When I first went to sea, I was inexhaustible. I was younger than the whole world. And on the sea coast, there rose to receive me the endless tang of the universe. I had no sense that the world existed. My faith lay in a buried tower. I had found so many things in so little, in my own twilight discoveries, in the size of love, in roots, that I was the displaced one, the wanderer, the poor proprietor of my own skeleton. And I understood then that I was naked, that I had to dress myself. I had never thought seriously about shoes. I didn't speak any languages. The only book I could read was the book of myself.
Mm.
The only life I knew was my secret life. And I understood that I couldn't summon myself because I wouldn't respond. I had used up that chance. Never more, croaked the raven. I had to fall back on things like clouds, on all the hats of the world, rivers, waiting rooms, doors, and names, so many names that simply learning them would have taken my whole sacred life. The world was full of women, jammed like a shop window, and given all the hair I learned, the breasts, the wonderful thighs, I learned that Venus was no mere legend. She was sure and firm with two enduring arms, and her hard mother of pearl weathered my lusty genital ambition. Everything was new to me. This whole planet was dying of sheer old age, but everything was opening for me to experience, to glimpse that lightning flash. And with my little pony eyes, I saw that bitter curtain going up with its fixed and worldly smile, the curtain opening on a wizened Europe. Wow, right? And then the next poem's Paris.
Cool.
Powerful, right?
So, if you slowed down and read that poem to me several times, like I think there are a bunch of places that we could just take off from and use as prompts. But
Yeah.
it was a bit fast for me, so I only managed to pull out two. Do you want me to
Mm.
count those up?
Yeah. What you got?
So the first time I went,
Mm.
we all have a first time. It could be the first time you went to kindergarten. Like,
Yeah. Hmm. That's gorgeous. Do you have another one?
my world was full of.
Ooh.
What do you have?
Yeah, let me just scan here. Oh, I loved this. This isn't a writing prompt, but I had to fall back on the things like clouds.
That's
Oh,
a good one.
that right. So how about I had to fall back on things like
Where I had to fall back on things.
I had to fall back on things. Okay. Back on things. And then another one.
There was something about learning all the names. That's
Mhm. And names, so many names that simply learning them would have taken my whole sacred life. Oh, so simply learning them. Nah, what do you think? I like,
yeah, no, it's
no,
too complicated.
I had used up that chance. Dot,
Oh,
dot, dot.
that's a good one. That's a really good one.
I had used up that chance. All right. So this writer's adventure introduced you to Pablo Neruda. And I think the tip here is let yourself be dangerous. And
I've got another good one.
yeah.
No piece of writing is ever too short for an adventure. Right? It's like
Yeah.
a whole lifetime and an immense transformation takes place in that piece.
Yeah. Totally.
And you read it in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. All right, gang. We'll see you in, an hour and a bit for a little writing check out. Happy Friday writing.